Hey guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So today is my anniversary video. So it's been 4 years that I've been doing BookTube. 4 years. 4 years that I've enjoyed, that I've had great opportunities. Some I was able to take advantage of, others, full-time job wouldn't allow me. But I've met some great authors throughout the 4 years that I never thought I would, because BookTube actually encouraged me to go out there and to meet these authors and to do a lot more background research and getting to know this author, their writing style, what they like, that kind of deal. So there's so much, and also you guys. I been introduced to the BookTube community, and there's so many people that I've been able to communicate with, has grown some friendship with, and some I haven't met yet, and I'm hoping when things back to normal I'll be able to meet more. But thank you so much for supporting my channel, for checking out my reviews. Some of you who have bought books that I've reviewed, and I love it. This is like my getaway, my escape, and something that I enjoy doing. It's why I continue doing it. Not so much for certain things, but just for my personal enjoyment, and I am for it. So again, I ask the questions if I can talk, guys, but just so you know, it's hot out here. It's 90 degrees, so if you see me doing this, you know why. And water, you know why. So anyway, let me get into the question. And I'm out here in nature, and there's a bee, so if you see me screaming, you know why. So anyway, I have asked some questions, and these are the questions that were submitted, and so I appreciate everybody who did. If you happen to put a question in after I record this video, I would just add it to another video and answer those questions. But here is the first one. Where do you get your ideas for your journaling? Now, I used to watch, I still do somewhat, a lot of journal with me video on YouTube, and I like that it gives you idea of what you can create on a spread. And what I've learned from some of them that was very much important is make it your own. So that's what I've been able to do, is I would look at the idea, but then I will create my own and make the page my own, make it personal, make it go with whatever I'm writing for the day. And then I got excited where I could get stickers and attempt to draw. I'm not good at drawing and all that for the spread, but I've created some spread that I really enjoyed, and some where I'm like, this is not good, but it's not important. It's about the words on the page, The second question from that same individual is, what's the best book you found because of BookTube? I would say there's quite a few, but it's hard to really remember ones that I did get from BookTube. But so Dee Dee, over the years, even before I started BookTube, I've recommended some really good books, and last year she really inspired me to read this book, and really glad that I did, which is the last thing you surrender. And this one really gave me everything. So for me, this is definitely one of the ones that I still to this day for. So yeah. Okay, next question. What inspired you to want to become a writer? I always thought I couldn't do it. I always thought that I second guess myself. Am I talented enough? And I realized with everything I've done in life, I had to work for it. Nothing came easy. All my degrees, all my accomplishments, nothing came easy. So if I want to be this writer, I have to work at it. I have to keep writing. I have to challenge myself. I have to open myself to criticism, open myself to improve it. And I remember there is a particular book from Octavia Butler, Bloodchild, which I don't have out here, but where she wrote in one of the excerpts, which is why this book is so important to me, that if you need improvement, she just basically said, go for it. If you feel like your writing needs a little bit more improvement, reach out and take the avenue. If you have to take classes, if you have to go to different levels to get there, get there but don't give up, and that's why I love that book. So if you haven't read Birth Child by Octavia Butler, I read that one. And also because also I feel like I have stories to tell. Like I have these, like my short story collection, I still love it to this day, and I haven't the steps yet to get it looked at, but I have stories. There's so many stories in my head, so many stories that I think of and I write, and there's this, and I want to share it, eventually to the world, but it's, so yeah, y'all got me smiling about that one. All right, here's another question. If you could change the ending of any book, what ending? All right, so this is gonna be more of a rant. This book I threw across the room when I was done. Yeah, Gone Girl. I after reading this chunky ass book, which is over 400 pages, and how it ended pissed me off. I was so mad. I literally threw the book. And I don't even know how I would end this in terms of, I just think the whole damn book, the last 30% of the book need to be, did I just wait? If you read this, And the thing is, I remember people loving it and raving about it, and that used to piss me off too, because I'm like, really? She took us on a ride to nowhere. So this needs to go. And then the other book that I was upset about, A Tale of Two Cities, guys. I wanted to dig the man up. And sorry about the lighting, guys. It's natural lighting, so it's gonna be out and out. But I wanted to dig him up and fight him. That man needed his neck. It wasn't out. I still don't get why people thought that was like romantic and love my ass. That man needed his neck. All that for somebody that don't feel the same way about. Yeah. They get wrong for this one. I cannot support the ending of this. I was like, then I'm thinking, what reality? No. So there's those two books. Yeah, I still get pissed off, guys, and it's been a while since I read those, like a couple of years. She said, what does my mother have any book recommendation? And so that's the first question. It's a two-part question. My mother this is the thing with my mother. I think she's more an academic because she was an English teacher back in Jamaica, and so she tends to do a lot more heavy books in that, and she's also very religious, so she tends to read a lot of biblical stuff. But the only books that I remember she recommended back in 2019 that I read, and that was To Kill a Mockingbird and Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. So these are the two books I read that year, and I really enjoyed them. This so much I think is kind of dated. There's things about this book that was just kind of like, yeah. And then this one I love. This one made up, the ending for this one really made up for the other BS, because I did love the Great Expectation. This is really this is one of the ones she says she can read multiple times. The Great Expectation by Charles Dickens. She said she really loved that. But to be honest, a lot of books that she just would have around the house that I just picked up, like my first romance, Disappearing Act. This is my mom's copy. It is one of the first editions, and I love this. I even met her, Tony Macmillan, back in 2018, I believe, and I was able to get her to sign this old copy, but I will never give this back to my mother. I still treasure this because it really introduced me. This is my early years of reading novels that I can pick up myself and read versus somebody telling me this is what I need to read. So I was here for this. So the other question is what is a new must read and backlist must read I would recommend. Um, I didn't take on any new ones yet. I think because you guys know I'm gushing about Tropic Death, which I have inside, and I didn't pick it up. So you guys know I'm going to be talking about it in other videos, so you will see Tropical Death everywhere. But the ones that I would think that I always like want people, when it comes to short story collection, what it means when a man falls from the sky, I always think this is one of the best short story collections I've ever read, period. If I had to put that in there, this would definitely be in a top 5, no question asked. Every story was amazing. This was a 5-star read for me. I do feel like if you're looking for a short story that's really gonna get you, this is a great collection. Another historical fiction. This is from Bernice McFadden. This is the Book of Night Women. No. What? The Book of Harlem. I'm obsessed with that book too, but you know, I talk about books so much I don't even want to add it in this video. But the Book of Harlem, this is a great historical fiction. This was also a 5-star read for me when I read it a few years ago. This one really is just everything. If you're a historical fiction fan, you will definitely enjoy this one. One that I talk about every year. Some sing, some cry. This is another one that not a lot of people read. It is a commitment. It is a commitment because it's an epic family saga, and it goes through different family members and different things that's happening in their life and different areas, even from the U.S. to Europe. But it's a commitment. So this is one of those that once you are in it, and I think this would be a great summer read as well because it's long, and you will be in this world for a while till you get to love the characters. So yeah. And then I would say, if you want another historical fiction, this one is still one of my best ever, and this is The Shoemaker's Wife. This one also just is so nostalgic for me. I did an entire blog post because I went to Little Italy after, because it took place in a part of Little Italy, and it's an immigration story from Italy to Little Italy in New York, and the love story. This is such an epic romance that is also historical. So there were certain things about this book that still stick with me even now. It's one of the books that I showcase, like every year I showcase one book on my little shelf on the corner, and I had this for 1 year because it was just such a good book, and Italian culture and everything. So I'm here for this one. And then the historical fiction, so I would say go with There's Confusion. This book does not get enough love. This is Jessie Redmond Fawcett. She is the first female in the Harlem Renaissance series. She doesn't get enough love, and I don't know why, because she was amazing and she was instrumental in a lot of people's career, including Langston Hughes. And but this story I thought was such a great coming of age story with 3 individuals, 2 female and 1 male, and the stages of their life. And I found that this book is such a good book, and I don't know why it's not talked about more. The storyline was just well done, and I read this in February, and I think this is a book that people should read. And then the other books I will talk about is going to be more on the comedy level, and that is The Upper Room by Mary Monroe. This is a horrible cover. This is not the original cover, and I hate that this is the cover that was sent to me, but the original cover is just hard to find, but it's very animated, the original cover. But this is one of those books that has heavy subject, but the way the author wrote the book, you couldn't stop laughing. This book made me laugh. I laughed so hard, and I always feel like this is one of those that you can't not read this and laugh. You know, it's just how she writes the book. But it doesn't get enough shine because it's been a while since it's been out, but this is a backlist book that you should pick up, The Upper Room. Yeah. And then one of my favorite books back in maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, This is 32 Candles. This is another coming of age story, and it also is a comedy. It has romance, but it has that survival for a young woman and things that was happening. I enjoyed this. This was my favorite book the year I read it, and it still is. I'm due for a reread, but this is another one I feel like you would enjoy. But this is a perfect summer book. So if you're looking for that summer read, this is also one that I think you should pick up. And the last one that I want to talk about is more so because this is the one that I got my mom to read back when we went to Aruba, and we read this. She read this on the beach the entire time while I was reading. I can't remember what book I was reading at the time. But anyway, we would just have a great time in Aruba. Aruba is such a relaxing island, and this one, I got her to read Behold the Dreamers. I gave her her own copy, and I'm very happy I did because she demolished the book. My mother annotated the heck out of that book, so the book looked beat up as heck. So I was happy I did not give her my hard copy, that I actually bought her a paperback. But this is another immigration story that I felt had that that heavy topic at the end of belonging, of where do you suffer, how do you choose to suffer in a land that's not yours, or one that your roots lie. So that's where that comes in, and I thought that was a really good this was a really good book. So yeah, so I gave you a lot of backlists because I think new ones get enough shine, so you should, backlist books. Let's see. What was your vision for your channel? I didn't really have this per se vision. It was more so of I wanted another avenue to talk about books, because I had my blog, and for years that's what I was reviewing books on. Every Wednesday was a book review, and there were several people on there who used to comment and said you should do BookTube. So I was like, oh, I don't know about me in front of a camera, how comfortable I would feel in front of a camera. But eventually I took it opportunity, and this was 2017 on June 30th with my first BookTube, and it was a very awkward BookTube video. It was the lighting was really bad. When I look back on it, I'm like, oh my goodness, I was trying to be something I wasn't, extra proper, and trying to be like, no, this is a fun channel, this is a relaxing channel, and this is going to be me. So over time I learned to let go of what I think I'm supposed to be in front of a camera and just do what I want. So but yeah, that was what I wanted to do. So I didn't really actually have a vision until I think about a year in, well, maybe a year and a half in, I decided that I wanted to do more vlogging. So that's why I get the reading vlogs, and I realized that method of reviewing became like a love, and I really started reaching towards doing stuff like that. Do you ever read alongs? I think she asked if I do read along. Mostly DDs. Like I do the Black History Month. There's the summer. She does summer, and then we buddy read a few books. So but I never done one. I think I want to host one, and if I do, let me know if you were interested in me hosting a read along. I think a fall read along might be a good one to do, but let me know, and let me know what kind of genre you'd be interested in if I do a read along, because I think that would be fun for me to do something different on my channel, which I haven't been able to do, and spice up a little and have you guys join in on some of that. So let me know. Do you know what moves you become a YouTuber? I think I just took a chance. I think it's, yeah, what moves you to become a booktuber? Yeah, I just took a chance. I think I just, because I enjoy talking about books, that it's just easy, but it became easy to dive into something like that, because I love to read. I love to talk about the books that I read, and a lot of the books that I read are not necessarily popular books. Like, now because I'm into the classics, especially the Harlem Classic and certain Caribbean books that I know that not everybody's reading. So it's nice to share books that I know that I think should get more shine, and maybe more people can get introduced. I love that when books that I was screaming about back in 2018 is getting a lot of shine now, like the Kai Miller and the Marlon James. I love when I see Augustin everywhere now, because back when I read it, no one really was checking for it. So I do enjoy reading books and discovering authors that are not popular, and I can share and talk about, and they also, even books that I think a lot of people may not enjoy, but I enjoy, just to share my views on the book and why I like it, even if you don't like it or you didn't feel that connection. It's nice to hear somebody else, because I do that sometimes. There's books that I'm not really a fan of, but when I listen to people's review and how they feel about the book, it makes you think and give you a different perspective of the book. And sometimes you might not catch something while you read it, and that person can highlight that bit of information that you completely missed while you were reading it. Makes it even like a different experience, and makes you even think about the book in a different way. So I like that as well. And then the last question on here is, what was your inspiration to start journaling, and can you provide some tips on how to keep going? I've been journaling since I was young, but it was never consistent. And then back in 2019, I was very stressed. I was going through some really complicated stuff at work, and I remember having teary days where I just was like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And I didn't have an outlet, because when you are single, childless, and you live alone, a lot of times people in your life don't think that you are stressed or you're struggling, because they feel like your situation is not that complicated versus someone who has other mouths to feed, or bills to pay for other people. When they have kids and all that. So a lot of times you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, no one to really express yourself. And I find that I wanted that, and I find my journal became that outlet of me unleashing my frustration, and things that I want to improve, and also solution. I was able to write down, okay, I need to do this, that, yet, to get out of my situation, to improve, because ultimately I am still in control of what I want to do to myself. How long do I want to be in an environment that's not healthy, or how long am I going to allow somebody to mistreat me, and what can I do to stop that kind of deal. So journaling became a bit of a therapy for me, and over time I realized that even my happy days was important, the good days was important, and those days I want to also write. I don't want to just focus on the bad things, and it became an everyday routine, using prompt words, things that happen, and that's the word I would choose for the day. And one is to just be able to reflect on the day. How did today go? Am I okay today? And be honest in my journal of days when I'm not okay, where I can't really say that to other people, or I don't feel comfortable saying that to other people. But in my journal, I can write down, today's just not a good day. Today I'm feeling low, or whatever. So that's what I did, and then eventually it became a routine. It just was an everyday thing, and it just right now it's like I can't go a day without it. Even if I go out and I come back late, I still have to sit down in my journal and to write. And some days I want to write 2-3 pages, and there's some days where a few sentences is all I have in me to sum up my feelings for that day, and that's okay. So that's why I tell all the time, it doesn't have to be a long writing. It could be simple as 2-3 sentences just to say how you feel that day, or something happened and you want to just write it down, or some kind of inspiration. There's so many things you can write in your journal, and it doesn't all have to be depressing and sad. You can write happy, a joyful day, something great happened, or nothing happened. Could be an uneventful day, and that's okay, because those uneventful days sometimes are the most relaxing day, and you can just write about that. So but you just make it a routine. Just make it where what's your the day of what time of the day that's your favorite time to sit down. Me, I usually do in the evenings, but I know some people love the mornings and they want to wake up and put affirmation of what they want to do for the day, how they want to approach the day. I'm going to have a good day no matter what, that kind of attitude. So you just have to find something, and just know that anything can write in your journal. It does not have to be sad. Like I said, it could be happy days. It could be a plan. Oh, what's the plan for the day? And you just jot down, I'm going to, have these top 3 things that I want to do that is going to make me feel good, or make me feel good. I want to work out today. I'm going to do this, and, that kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a journaling, a diary kind of deal, or, like that kind of deal. So there's so many things you can do. I think I need to do like more videos talking about this, because I do get this question a lot, and I know a lot of people fall off on journaling because I think they're taking it in so seriously all the time that they don't realize that journaling doesn't have to always be serious. So, and then yeah, so that one, I appreciate the journaling things that I do get asked on here. And yeah, but yeah guys, that is the last question. I am so happy that I made it out here, and I think my body got used to it because I stopped sweating. My body got used to the heat. Maybe the Jamaican in me. Yeah, so I didn't put a lot of Caribbean on here because we just had readathon, and I talked about a lot of Caribbean books, and I do have my wrap up to do, so I was saving all of that. But you guys know I talk about Caribbean all the time. I read at least 1 or 2 Caribbean books per month, and these are the other books that I wanted to highlight and share. But yeah, but thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I want to thank everyone who supported me for the last 4 years and who continues. If you're new to this channel, welcome to all my old subscribers. Yeah, I know there's some changes in this channel over the years. I've got more comfortable and more relaxing, and for those who acknowledge that this channel always seems to be relaxing, I purposely do that because I think the world is such a mess that I wanted a little corner where I can reduce talking about the mess, because that seems to be a lot of times take over of a lot of people's emotion, and I live it. I am constantly every day living in the mess and having to deal with the mess on levels that I don't share on here. So when I'm home and when I'm with my family, I want to have that few minutes of just happy thoughts, positive thoughts, without all the other things that is a day-to-day struggle. So yes, so this is why it is called Comfy Cozy Up, because I want you guys to relax and enjoy my videos when you watch it. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.